As our Kangaroo Island adventure drew close to an end, we spent the last couple of days exploring the northern coast of the island. Driving east from Flinders Chase National Park, we were met with tranquil beaches, beautiful wildlife, and some of KI's quaint and peaceful towns. In today's adventure, we bring you along on our tour of KI as we explore the beautiful sands of Emu Bay, taste KI's best hot chocolate, and visit the hidden gem of KI, the True Thai restaurant and bar, which features live music, great atmosphere, and amazing Thai food. Come along and discover a side to the island that is often overlooked as we embark on our final Kangaroo Island adventure. As we drove along the northern coast of Kangaroo Island, from the vast wilderness of Flinders Chase, our first stop was at the visitor centre of Emu Bay Lavender Farm. With a shop, cafe, and field of freshly grown lavender, this centre is a lovely place to stop off for a cup of coffee. Turning our noses towards the cool, crisp sea breeze, we then went to see the local beach for ourselves. So that was us just jumping into the Emu Bay Lavender Farm, which is a really cute cafe. If you're into your lavender, into your essential oils, into all of those homemade soaps and everything, head in there, check that out. Get one of the ice creams. It's $5 for an ice cream, homemade lavender ice cream, which is really good value. And then we're coming down to Emu Bay, which, as you can see behind me, is a beautifully long, white sandy beach. It's a bit built up. There's some houses up behind me on the other side, so it's not the quietest beach. But because of that, it's got a bitumen tarmac roads leading all the way down to it, so it's perfect if you don't have a four-wheel drive. So Emu Bay is also the last beach on the north coast if you're heading in a clockwise direction, before you reach the biggest town or biggest city on Kangaroo Island. It's apparently the central business district. I'm going to be quite surprised if it is actually a huge city. I'm going to say more of it is more of a town.
I think it's a town.
But that's also where we're heading to next. With sand on our toes, we packed up the van and drove to Kingscote in search of lunch. Browsing the local shops, cafes and restaurants, we finally decided on a place to rest up and charge our devices. This was quite an easy decision given that Chocol Art cafe boasted the biggest and best hot chocolates in Australia.
So we just popped our head into the Chocol Art cafe. We were obviously intrigued by the words choco.
Can't say no to that chocolate cafe.
Even though it's like, 30 degrees outside, we're still eyeing up the hot chocolates in there. And they have a little bit of free Wi-Fi, which is always a bonus. They had ran out of hot food, even though it's only like 12 o'clock, 12:30. They'd ran out of hot food. So the owner said that we can go back in, bring in our lunch and enjoy one of their, what looks like a bucket of hot chocolate.
Yes,
it looks delicious.
We'll show you that when we get back in there, guys, but it's literally like almost the size of my head.
Yep.
We're just going to cook up a little pesto pasta and then take it back across in a bowl and enjoy it inside the cafe. So this is the mug. I was telling you it's the same size as my head. A bit of an exaggeration, it's about the size of my hand. But what's the verdict?
Genuinely think that might be the best hot chocolate I've ever had. It's like melted chocolate.
So all we do is
Yeah, it's not just powder.
So good. Try it.
Oh wow. Bloody hell, that's good.
It's really good, isn't it?
With our bellies full, we left the cafe and explored the Kingscote seafront, looking to cool off in the crystal clear water.
So we've now arrived at the Kingscote tidal pool, which is just behind me, and this is basically just an overflowing tidal pool from the water from the sea, and we're going to go in for a dip because it's roasting yet again. Apparently the weather's going to turn. We just heard the owner of a coffee shop saying sports day at the school is cancelled tomorrow because of cold weather and high winds. Cold weather? It's so hot. But yeah, we're going to go in for a swim and cool off for a bit just now.
Yeah, it's just after midday and it is now scorching. Why is your water so cold? I just want a nice relaxing dip. Continuing east from Kingscote, our next stop was a scenic viewpoint that we had read about online, known locally as the Red Banks Viewpoint. So we're going to this sunset spot that apparently we saw online, and it's called Red Banks. We're about a kilometre out. I have no idea where we're going because the roads are just getting quieter and smaller and dirtier and more off track every single corner that we turn. We've been going down this kind of road here for about 5 kilometres now. Oh, I can see the sea now actually. Thank God, I thought we were going to get stranded out here in the middle of a sand dune or something. Oh, look at that view instead.
Oh wow.
Right, let's not get stuck in that sand.
Oh man, I don't know how to get down.
What is this place? There used to be a wee view platform down there. Maybe we should go and have a look. Apparently this place has got really red sand. Or like kind of orangey sand.
I think it's the rocks actually on the cliff.
Alright. That's sunset in the golden hour. Which I'm hoping we get a good sunset for because it's a bit more cloudy today. But at sunset during the golden hour, they like shine proper bright and it's going to be beautiful. So fingers crossed it works out.
So we found a bit of a steep pathway down. Definitely both not wearing the best shoes, but the flies.
If you come here guys, you need a bloody bee suit because the flies are absolutely insane. We're gonna go down and check out the beach, but I don't know, excuse me, I don't know if we're gonna be staying here till sunset because this is actually ridiculous.
You can tell that this is not very popular.
Yeah.
There's just like no built up path. There's even like a really steep cliff edge. Possibly potential that one day that the pointy bit that goes out is going to be eroded away.
Yeah.
I don't imagine it will have too many years left on it. But yeah, there's a kind of broken path down to the beach. But yeah, we're definitely going to be the only ones here because it's pretty much a mission to get to. Wow. Yep, if you come here you need one of those typical
Australian
Aussie hats
with the corks.
Yeah.
They do this to you.
Oh, need it for my whole body. They're everywhere.
Such a beautiful place. But we're gonna get the hell out of here because it's ridiculous.
Oh man, that's such a shame.
After escaping the hell on earth of this beach, we found another example of KI's more beautiful wildlife.
Just toddling along. Hello. Oh, always pretending to be a spiky bush, bless him. Oh, I'm glad it was us driving slow when he was crossing the road instead of someone that was speeding along.
So funny, like when you approach them they just stop, pretend to be a bush. And they're like really good camouflage because when we saw them at Seal Bay, we saw one at the side of the path and he was walking along and then all he did was like tuck into the side of the path and stick his nose in the bush. And if you were just walking along at that time you would honestly think it was just this brown spiky bush. You would never have noticed.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah, brilliant.
He's waiting to have his dinner. Well done. Bin that plastic. So when you come to Kangaroo Island, they really don't kid when they say nature is everywhere, and literally you pass quite a lot of roadkill. So make sure you just drive slowly, always keep an eye out because these little animals are just always crossing. Especially like they advise that you don't drive, basically, well when we're driving now I guess, sunset, late afternoon, throughout the night, that is when they're all most active.
After washing down and dressing up, we headed for dinner at a hidden gem of a restaurant we heard about from the owner of the Hot Chocolate Cafe. Alright, so there's a place not that far from American River that we're really luckily heard about today from one of the locals. It's a Thai food bar, which is right up our street because I've been craving pad Thai for ages. It looks like just a big shed that they've converted into like a kind of fast food bit with some benches, and there's a fast food truck, and every Thursday night there's also some live music. So we're going to chill out, enjoy our last night here in Kangaroo Island and get some good Thai food stuck into it.
Yep, just as you say that, I can spot some kangaroos.
Oh, of course, there's kangaroos everywhere. So as we've got,
I've got pad thai and vegetables with a salad and a vegetable spring roll, and it's all come in like bamboo plate, cutlery, and a little dip as well in a bamboo cup.
is it bamboo?
I think so. What do you think?
Yeah, if it was bamboo, it's fantastic.
So I got the regular plate, which was $7.
$7.
And you got, was it the large?
Yeah, $10. A spring roll for $2.
Bargain.
That is not too shabby. The entire thing came to what, $23?
21.
Was it $21? After because there was a surcharge of that, I think.
What was there?
Get a receipt.
36 cents.
36 cents to pay by card. So if you are going to come here, make sure you bring enough cash, otherwise you need to pay to use your card. But apart from that, it's fantastic value. So I really should explain the setup a little bit more here. It's basically one giant shed that's in the middle of a field, and it seems to be that they use it all the time for this kind of thing. It's True Thai Kitchen, it's called. You can Google it. Easy directions to get to it. And it seems like it's, as the person that introduced us to the shed kept saying, it's all public access. You know, there's the bathrooms behind us. You've got 3 different areas that you can sit in, 2 indoor, 1 outdoor. And it seems that you're actually sharing it with the families that maybe live here, because there's like a living room over there and there's a kitchen, and it almost looks like their living quarters. There's a kid that's running around as well. So it's a really homely feel to the place. You're actually being invited into these people's house to enjoy food with them. Almost, it's quite a traditional like Asian feel to it, almost, which is really good. There's live music on Thursdays, which is brilliant, and yeah, it's just got a really nice feel to it. The decorations and all that are beautiful as well. The next day we left the beautiful KI on our next adventure along the Eyre Peninsula with rather heavy hearts. The island had sparked a fire in our souls for the raw and untamed side of Australia that we had always dreamt of. It was here in KI that we had seen more wildlife of all shapes and sizes than ever before in our entire lives, and it is the protected state of its national parks that we have to thank for that. At the beginning of 2020, Australia experienced some of its worst bushfires in its entire recorded history. The dry forest and bush set path for a truly terrifying wave of destruction and despair. Millions of dollars of damage were reported, and thousands of beautiful creatures sadly lost their lives. Unfortunately, the remote lands of KI were not spared from this devastation, with almost half of the island reported to have caught fire. This had a disastrous effect on the wildlife population of the island, including the vulnerable population of Kangaroo Island koalas. But you can help this beautiful island recover this year. Despite the devastation that KI experienced at the beginning of the year, the national parks will soon open their gates once again. Once the 2020 travel restrictions have been lifted, book your trip to Kangaroo Island and experience a trip like no other in Australia.